Get them in the shot too.
I did.
Okay.
See, I can take camera shots with this too.
I can too.
Yeah. Yeah. We stopped before we left.
I'm gonna try to get back and get the whole thing to begin with, and then I'll this here.
Yes, dear.
There's the whole thing.
Not quite sure what this is, but hey,
Still have the cover?
it looked kind of cool.
I think it's one of those fake walls, because look at how different they make you go. So we saved 1 mile.
Okay.
Oh, there's Bobby. This is the market, Beijing.
See him, he said hello.
A lot of people.
Lots of people.
A lot of stuff.
All right then. I guess
We love you. We'll be there soon.
It's kind of surreal. It just kind of surreal. It just kind of has an
Some Buddhism, you know, the culture. This is the old cultures, but right now we tend to choose weekends because, you know, more people can come. But still people will calculate in the lunar calendar and depends. Now we're driving on the second ring road. This side, on this side is the old city area. Like the Beijing city is much bigger than the one it used to be. Before the early 1980s, the majority of the area, Beijing city area, within the second ring road side. And the Beijing area nowadays is 18,860 something square kilometers altogether, including some counties around. This area is very big. Like my apartment is very far away from this area, about 30 kilometers from my apartment to here. So, but the old Beijing city area compared to the one we used to, compared to the one we nowadays have, it's just 0.5%. Because, you know, getting bigger. They keep constructing the ring road. When the ring road circle, you know, certain area into the city. Nowadays we have 5 rings, and we named them from 2nd to the 6th. And they've been talking about the 7th ring, but we don't know if they can succeed to have the 7th ring, because if they constructed the 7th ring, they might include some area from the other province. Because Beijing city area surrounded by a province, but this city doesn't belong to the province. It's in charge by central government, and it's circled by one province, called the Hebei province. And if they constructed 7th ring road, they might include some area from the Hebei province. We don't know if they succeed to that. Now we see some river line, it's actually canal and city moats. This building is the East Arrow Tower from the ancient times. They constructed the Arrow Tower outside of the city gate to protect the city. We'll see it again tomorrow. We'll see it again tomorrow on the way to the Forbidden City. Used to have layers, city walls surrounding the city, the old Beijing city area. Layers, quite a few layers. This is the city government. These two buildings, city government. Watch the what do you call it? Watch a star.
Star watching? Astronomy.
Astronomy.
Observation area.
For the Asian people to watch the star. Some kind of football.
Holy cow.
And
Window washer.
it's one of the government building. Nowadays, most of the government buildings still inside, in downtown, in the middle of the city. But in a few years, because they constructed the buildings from outside of the city to the area where I live right now, they try to move out to release the traffic so that people do not have to come into the center of the city. They go to outside of the city for the government issues. So what do you think about Beijing? Since we stay here for about 2 days. You might think we have lots of people, lots of cars, and crazy traffic probably.
Crazy traffic, yes.
It's like Philadelphia, New York City.
Pretty big city.
About five years ago, we didn't have these many cars, these many vehicles running on the streets, and we didn't have these many overpasses, But just recently, the numbers of the vehicles, going up. They said that in the early 2007, late 2007, for about 2 months, on average, they have over 1,000 new vehicles getting registered every day. Just recently, 18 years old. Well, we have a big population here. According to the 2007 data, they said 16.33 million in Beijing area. 16.33 million for 2007. I came here in 2004. By that time, just 14 million. Just recently. And the population growing up and the city area is getting bigger, and people, we don't have, even we have big apartment buildings, but still the apartments are not enough for the people to house the people in downtown of the city. So people have to move for the outside of the city. And for transportation, if you came here 5 years ago or 7 years ago, you might see more bicycles than vehicles running on the streets. And we used to have a special passes for the bicycles by that time. But nowadays we have less and less paths. and less bicycle. Well, still, you guys will think that there are a lot bicycles running on streets, but it's a lot less than we used to have. The bicycles, because it is impossible for people to ride bicycles from outside of, like from the 6th ring road, the 5th ring road, come to the downtown city. So people they can choose public transportation, or they have to drive for the. We're talking about the cars regulation. After the Olympics, the government said that the private cars have to, like stop running for 1 day a week, from Monday to Friday. 1 day a week you have to park in according to the license number as well, like 1 day off each week. But I don't think it does work. Still, busy. Now today is Sunday, still busy. We see a river. It's city mode. It's a city mode. We're driving on the 2nd ring road, and most of the city area inside and the city mode to protect the city. In ancient times, because it's not easy for people to cross the river, it took them time, so they can shoot the arrows to kill the enemy who cross the river, cross the moat. And now we're driving outside. This is the North Arrow Tower. The North Arrow Tower. People are waiting for the buses to go to Great Wall. The public buses. City Wall and lots of the city gates have been destroyed, especially during the Cultural Revolution. I guess some of you might heard about the Cultural Revolution, 66 to 76. They tried to do an old culture and destroy all the old buildings left from the ancient times, trying to build a new. And so they encourage people to destroy the old constructions and buildings. And they. I heard from the Beijing citizens, for the older generation, the school teachers will encourage the students to take 1 brick each day from the wall to school, to encourage them to destroy, like turn down the city wall. Fortunately, we have the Forbidden City left nowadays, and tomorrow we can see it. Most part of the Forbidden City have been well preserved, but most of the city wall have been destroyed, and tomorrow we will see a small section of the city wall left from the ancient time. Olympic village, we can drive in on the way.
What's the difference between Peking and Beijing?
The name between Peking and old times, when you foreigners, Western countries started to come to Beijing, started to come to China, most of the people that they came through Cantonese area, the Guangzhouans, and Peking is like sound translation or sound translation from the Cantonese. Cantonese says Beijing as Peking. This is sound translation, Peking. So the Peking dialect. And we do also have some cities, in English, it doesn't mean anything to Chinese, like Macau. Doesn't translate like Macau. Amoy. They don't make any sense to Chinese people if you say if you say Macau, if you say Amoy. Peking is like, kind of people can say because it's like Beijing. But Beijing is Mandarin Chinese. Mandarin. Well, I have a question. If you came to China, what do you think of China? How many families have visited China before? Have you one? And most of you the first time? Big population.
City's what I accepted.
I started to work for adoption since 2000. And my first family, I worked as a local guy in my province. I worked for different agencies, the families coming to my province. My first family, it was in 2000, in June 2000. And they came to my city and we worked through the government process. And I took them to a tourist city tour around. They didn't ask me questions until the 9th or the 10th day, the last 2 days. They started to ask me a question. They said, Joy, we read a lot about China. They said Chinese walking without shoes, with bare feet. And you Chinese still have those long tail, like the brains in ancient times. They said, through this week, and we haven't seen any people walking without shoes. And we assume that Chinese are wearing those still wearing those costumes.
Yeah.
I said, no, it's not true. How do you see any people walking without shoes on the street? Probably we were walking without shoes in the house.
Sure. Yeah.
We might have people walking without shoes on the mountainous area, the minority groups. They might try to keep the culture. And in my province, we do have some people walking without shoes because they think it's stable when they're climbing the mountains and the hills, but not in the city.
And what province are you from?
Guangxi, Guangxi, in the south, west to Guangdong province, coastal area. But it's a minority area. Huh? Rice fields.
Are there any around Beijing?
The rice fields around Beijing. They sell because the climate is not for the rice. Most of the rice in the south. But we can have 2 harvests every year in the south area. So that was, their question, and they said their doctor told them to take some pills each day to get rid of the malaria. Because it's a subtropical area, and the doctor warned them to. And they asked me, Joy, do you have lots of malaria going on in here, like in my city? I said, no, I never have any relatives, any friends, like got malaria. We use some mosquitoes, so we can put on some mosquito proof and something like that to get rid of the bitten from the mosquito. But I don't have any, haven't got any relatives getting, affected with malaria. So they said, Joy, we decided to flash over our pills today. Because they said after they can, taking the pills, they didn't have any appetite for food. So, my first shock. They said, what you America, knew about China before you came? Well, I can say that developing very fast. We can't imagine, the speed of developing. I remember when I was a child, we did not dare to dream about having a private car. And we still, before 92, we still using those coupon or ticketing for portions of food. Yeah, it was true. I was born in '77, and I remember to early '80s, we're still using those tickets for meat, small portions each month, for meat, for fabric, for rice, flour, noodles, all kinds of tickets. And we didn't use those. We stopped using those tickets for meat and fabric after middle 80s, and we're still using the tickets for rice and noodles and flour until early 90s. Living standard at that time was very, very low. I'll tell you give you some examples. Before the 80s, the living standard, the people's living standard very low. For the young people, young couples wedding, what they bought for the wedding was a bicycle. For the one bicycle, it's two people for transportation, one bicycle, and a sewing machine. Because we had tickets for fabric, we didn't have the tickets for clothes, and we seldom see any, like clothes. They selling fabric. So, but the young, the ladies, the women were very skillful for making the clothes and also knitting. Since 79, the country started to open to the world. Actually, before that, some of the the top officials suggest to open to the world, but it was because the person on the money, he insists to have the Cultural Revolution. So during those 10 years, it was hard for public people. Right after he died, they stopped the Cultural Revolution, and they started to find ways to develop the country for economy. And the second president, he said that any way they can help for developing the economy, that's good. So we started to open to the world. We started to learn some, step by step, learn from the developed country. And the day before yesterday, your social worker asked me, what do you think about the difference between the communism and capitalism? Nowadays, I don't see any, because we do have probably before 90s. Before 90s, we might have a lot of signs that show you that's communism. Everybody got about the same salary, and there's almost the same income, and everybody got the same, like per person got the same portion of food. But it's just a market for the construction materials. And the government took care of the housing for the working staff, the housing, and took care of the education for everybody. For young kids. And government took care of even the higher education, college. The government paid for the college students. And they can even get a certain amount of money every month from the government. And government took care of the medical care. But since 90s, early 90s to middle 90s, things changed. We stop using those portions of food and we pay for everything. We have to pay for our education. We have to pay for medical care. And just recently, they started medical insurance. Just recently, but it's not good enough for me to trust it, because they ask you to pay, for your local government. I mean, from the Guangxi province. So I pay for the Guangxi government. It doesn't cover my fees if I go to a hospital. I use a hospital here. It doesn't cover my fees here. This is a big issue nowadays that we're talking about at the government conference. We mentioned about this. I think they will do something in the future, 3 years or in 5 years. But nowadays it's not good enough. They just started, so they still have lots of programs to. And the education is very expensive nowadays. According to the newspaper, it said that the local place we have one child, one family, right? One child, one family, and the one family pay for the one child's education. They have to spend about 1/4 to 1/3 of the total income of this child.
Is that elementary, high school, or is that college?
Yeah, they like whole thing. The 1/4 to 1/3 total income for the family. This family to have children. I mean, more than one. And this is true in the cities. And nowadays, even though you have a family plan, right? One child, one family. Nowadays, some cities, they actually encourage the family to have some families to have a second one. But I don't think many people, many families would consider about this because the education is too expensive. They started to release about a little bit about family plans since 2006 in Shanghai City. They said that they encourage those couples if they both have higher education. If both couple they have degrees, they encourage them to have a second one. But in Shanghai and in Beijing, those big cities, the living expense is very expensive. Like we have to pay for our house, like apartments, and we have to pay for the car. So lots of the families they try to be the income, no kids. But more and more families choose to be the things. So this is true in the cities.
One thing I noticed is like the people and the kids, the high school age kids, are very well behaved. Just compared to it seems like they're much better behaved. It's like, I don't know, is it just a cultural thing or like stricter?
I think it's the way they teach. But they started to change the way they teach. We have to learn a lot, in high school, in middle school, to be education, population, and universities. So we have to sit the entrance examination to go to universities. They now, on average, like throughout the country, they take 1/3 or 1/4 of the candidates who sit for the examination. We can go to the college.
Right. The Chinese students that go to college and everything, they seem to be so much more serious about their studies and stuff than Americans are.
Because we have to, the competition between the students before they go to college, and they tell a boy or a girl. But in the countryside, in farming, in the countryside, the first child, a girl, they can have a second one. But no matter a boy or a girl in the countryside, they try to chose they try to control the population of the people. Majority people in China, actually Han people, has the population over 99.0%. They control the Han people's population. So this family plan is especially for Han people, like one child, one family. For most of the minority groups, they small population, very small population. If the total population for this minority group, the population less than 10 million, the total population 10 million, if compared to these minority groups, they can have 2 children. They can have 2 children. It doesn't matter the first child, a boy or girl. They can have 2 children at least. And for those,
Now you don't have to take those steps there. Did all that.
That's fine.
It's just, oh my God, it's a world wonder, you know?
Yeah,
it's,
It is.
In the world.
It's like,
It's the aliens.
and how many people they say died from it, making it? Gosh.
I feel bad. Grandparents are passing it.
Oh, I know.
Here. Let's see if he's up there. Make this. Look at all the people. Daddy coming down. Here he comes. There's Daddy. Wave, Daddy. There's Daddy on the Great Wall. Over here, the wall seems to stop, and then it starts again. And up and up and up. Over. This has got to be one of the most spectacular things. Here we go. We're going down. Happy Sunday.
Hallelujah.
Happy Sunday, people.
All right, this is us leaving the Great Wall
Great
of
Wall.
China. Praise the Lord, pass the peas.
What Bobby said. Praise the Lord and pass the poo.
Let me tell you something. It is a steep climb. So if you ever come to China,
Yeah.
you gotta do the leg burn.
Yeah,
Don't
but take
bring the
Dad with
kids.
you.
Don't bring children under the age of 10. You'll regret it the rest of your life. Yeehaw! Now,
Woo!
let's look out here to the left. We got beautiful, gorgeous mountainside. And look over here to the right, beautiful cliff rock. And I'm signing off. Thank you very much. We're done.
Here we are. Whoa, little bump. Little bump.
When we hit the towers, we get that bump
It is
thing.
beautiful. Quite the steep drop.
Yes, mean.
Oh, yeah. Or Splatsville if you fall.
Splatsville, I like that.
Don't,
Splatsville.
no, we don't want no splat.
No Splatsville, but we're going to sign off for now. We'll see you down at the bottom.
Bye!
Bye!
Toodles.
Ta-ta!
Anyhow.
Herbie unit. Herbie is a Volkswagen.
Yes.
And new version named the Herbie Fully Logic.
Yes.
Car number 53. But I'm not that car. I'm number 1 interpreter.
Okay.
So you're lucky to meet a number 1 interpreter. You can get detailed information than the other current information books. Cloisonné. Is it first time to see?
Yes.
Yes.
French word. Not English, but nowadays become English. Given to Chinese handcraft like this. This is a cloisonné vase. But most people easily think of this one to be a porcelain. This looks like porcelain. Big difference, like a gentleman normally make kitties, they will try to drop them on the ground. Yeah, when you do that, porcelain break the pieces immediately. Cloisonné won't break if it's metal, copper. It's a copper body. But that's still bad way to tell the difference. The way is getting the meaning of that word. Then you will know what this kind is. Cloisonné, French word means partition. a big wall separate house, different rooms. So like the half-finished one from this side, so make sure you can see the wires, or between the copper wires with the enamel colors. So on this one, we still can see the copper wires, but between the narrow wires are the different enamel colors. It's a wires to separate the different colors.
Wow.
Separation, partition.
Beautiful.
This is the question again. First workshop is a shape making. 5 layers of copper plug in socket. Before soldering, gentlemen only use scissors to cut the whole sheet of copper into 5 pieces. Then hammer the flat 5 pieces into the curved mouth, neck, side and bottom, then solder them together. One gentleman, 2 days to hammer the shape. Very traditional, 800 years ago, it's the same way to create the shape, the form. Second stage, it's a first step open for us to see, but not so much dangerous. The ladies there, they are quiet, patience actually. They hold the tweezers to bend the copper wires to the birds and the flowers. Then we glue the wire next to another to compose intact flowers. One girl, 5 days, make one like that. So this stage is similar to the technique of carving, bending the wires like a carving, engraving. That's why some people say the traditional painting, carving technique involved. And the third stage, there will be still ladies, another kind of job, imagination job. For information from you, say, gentlemen easily to be colorblind. The girls has an advantage to pick out the colors. That's true. In the working table, 76 colors on the table. It's a free will for the girls to choose the colors.
Wow.
Based on this point, they're lucky enough to get 5,000 yuan per month as a salary. The wives to create the patterns, 2,500 at most.
Wow.
And this one, okay, after first layer painting, eyedropper, with the eyedropper. Eyedropper fit into the room, you know why, to shade the colors. And then later, second layer painting, firing. Firing, the color shrinks, wire standing out. Totally 6 times just to high up the colors, build up the color between the wires. Like this one, we cannot see any wires on this one. For enamel, it's much higher than the copper wires. We can see the wire through the color, but not feel the colors. You cannot feel the wire. By polishing, the copper wire just exposed. Polishing with the stone by hand with emery stone. Emery like this. Make the high part enamel down to same level with the copper wires. Second polish for fine smooth is wet stone. Wet stone like this. Then the enamel is much even. Although it's not brighter, but it's even. Color and the wires exactly same level. No concave or convex part on it. Then shining. Still by polishing. With another material in Beijing restaurant for barbecue. Charcoal.
Charcoal.
Not all trees to be the charcoal, only one fruit tree, peach. Peach to eat. Peach tree to be the charcoal polishing, accompany water, then the copper wires are more shining. At the same time, enamel color will be darker and darker. So this one, after charcoal, before charcoal. Same patterns. Now we still can see the copper wires. It's wise to compose its own. This is totally 40 days. 40. 40 days make one.
40. Wow.
Yeah, that side is 33 steps. 40 days make sure one finished. 1,000 years history from the end of Yuan Dynasty. Okay, Herbie, camera ready? Hold on. Inside. I can tell you all camera. Take a look, sir. We can touch everything here.
That one's not free.
4 kind of jobs. One girl, 4 jobs, make one like that. First job, tracing. Probably forgot. Lots of works, you know. Tracing. Design paper from a designer. These are with the carbon paper to draw the design onto the rough copper surface. Second job, bending thicker. Third job, cutting into thinner. Fourth, gluing. Have you ever heard of cloisonne?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't know how it was made.
Yeah. Just doing fixing. Oh, continue. Why is need fixing? This one just being glued with a temporary glue.
Right.
Then soldered with a flux, which is a silver powder, coated on the whole surface between the wires. Heat the whole thing. Flux drawn the wire onto the copper body will make the red color of copper a little bit white. That material will be the oxidized flux. Then sulfuric acid, wash it to get oxidized the flux away. Hot water scald it, get sulfuric acid away. Then fill the colors. It is a 400 Fahrenheit, 800 degrees centigrade. But the melting point of a copper is just 1082 degrees centigrade. So the time for heating limited, 2 to 5 minutes. 2 to 5 minutes. Normally while the oven open, most people get camera ready to catch the red color, and then later, 2 minutes later, the color will be back, original color will be back. But now we're in the lunch time, so nothing inside. Yeah. Just for our time, it's lunch time here now. Nothing inside. But this here is another government factory's topic. It's a real and a fake. Let's show us. The real one, heavier and stronger, like this. We cannot change the shape easily. We cut it in half to find one thicker copper. Always copper, no the other material. And 6 layers enamel coated outside.
Right.
Some of the tornado drop on the ground on purpose. That's why he dent. But the large ears keeps the original. Fake one, didn't drop it, you bend it, the shape is gone, and the colors, large ears cracks. That is why the fake one nowadays comes to this part. This head, this bottom, the stomach, the head become a part. Yeah. This fake one is brass, not pure copper. Brass is copper and zinc mixed, higher melting point than pure copper. So the fake maker cannot give 6 layers enamel on brass. Just the copper can attach layer after 6 layers.
Right.
Yeah, it's lighter in this shape. But that weight is not the only way to tell the difference. The fake ones become wiser and wiser as they fall inside the fake with the cement to reach the same weight. So on this one, the bottom here, we find the cement on the bottom. Then comes the second way to tell the difference. Tapping. Cement will influence the sound. For cloisonne only be found in Beijing city. It's a small business, not as famous as jade, porcelain, embroidery. These things in national big store you will find them. Jade, yeah, every city have some of it. A cloisonne just in Beijing city. That's a neighboring province. They use a machine to make the small pieces of vases. Breweries, animal figures, bring to Beijing street, share the market. Fake one. Do that. Yeah. You can wait. Yeah. And another real one, green one, to show us
Much heavy.
the white patches.
It's real heavy.
Thick one. See the thickness of
It's some soldering together like that.
yeah. Nothing to see there. Just bring the show on. Okay,
Olympic Village. That's where athletes would stay. In those buildings. We just passed the archery, which Dad has pictures of. It's supposed to imitate a flower. This is the area where they had 2000 Olympics.
Although I'm wondering if we'll see anything like that in the province.
Here's the gate. The gate. And they try to and they are selling these the apartments to the citizens.
Well, if you think about it, the Paralympics just ended like a week ago.
What's that?
The Paralympics just ended like a week ago.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can take.
Here's the broadcast center. The 2008 Olympics.
That's what she said. They were selling the apartments. This looks like a small.
The tower, the broadcast.
Yeah, the White Tower.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a clear shot of the stadium.
She will take a turn.
The stadium.
Is that where the gymnastics were?
Gymnastics not here. It's near around our hotel area. Gymnastics.
'Cause this is swimming here, right?
Yes.
Water cube, there
The David, David helps.
What's his name?
Phelps.
Phelps. Michael Phelps.
He's my cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, There's the water cube.
Don't we
Oh
look
my
alike?
goodness.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
He's
Look at that.
Bird's nest behind it.
Look at the water cube.
Bird's nest for
That is
opening
just
close
amazing.
ceremony
I'm
and
trying to
check
back
and
up.
fields.
I think he has to back up or something. I'm not sure.
Sorry to be you. Okay, we gotta get our birds nest right. Thanks for blocking traffic.
She will take a turn and you can see the bird's nest the other side.
I got like several.
Is that plastic or what?
That's what I want. That's what.
Is it an Australian firm? Wow. It's not from shell and it's flame resistant. Really?
There we go. Look at everybody rush in.
Thanks, Kristen.
There's the bird's nest.
Oh, my Lanta. I wanted to climb up on that thing.
Oh my land.
Oh my Lanta.
Oh, my lanta.
Oh my Lanta.
Honestly, nobody's heard that before.
No.
No. No, I've not heard it before.
Must be a Michigan thing.
Must be a Heather.
Horse to horse to. Who's the horse to horse to horse to?
Something else is going on here.
才会的时候我们走
Look at out here and cut the trees. Get them out of the way. Just pull them up.
地下来，
Sometimes doing the same
走在
thing.
边上。
There's the bird's nest. Oh my goodness.
No. That is huge.
That is just amazing.
Yeah, huge. Wow. That's mad.
Also, these two parties, the party in Taiwan, they fight against each other, and he always won. So.
Hi, honey.
She's got.
the west with the national battles. We call it the Great Hall for People's Committee. It's like a Congress house, like a building. We have seen a picture of this building a lot. Where? You remember? Yes, on the money, 100 yuan. And the middle, the monument, is to commemorate those heroes who died during those decades since 1840. The first Opium War, 1840, and the second Opium War, 1900. And those 8 years, you know, the battles, the wars between China and Japan, the Japanese. And they have some relief carving pictures on the base, 10 altogether, to show you different pictures, 10 of those important battles. And this one is the National Museum, actually the History Museum, especially the history of the revolution. They're being renovated right now. All these three, they were built in the 80s, in the 50s. And for the 59, the 10 years anniversary of the founding of the country. The country was founded in 49, and all these were built till 59 for the 10 years anniversary. In ancient times, this area was not this big. They used to have offices on both sides, and the square, the shape is in the shape letter T, shape of the letter T, like the street and like this. Used to be much smaller, and this area used to be markets, small markets for the people who live in the Forbidden City. Come here to purchase whatever they need for daily life. Okay, this your free time. What time is it? So 9 o'clock. We'll see you. Can we see the
10 o'clock.
It's quarter to 10.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. We'll see you around the national flag. The tall.
Oh,
sure.
the flag. Oh,
Okay. 10 o'clock.
15 minutes.
I hate that. It's on standby. I think I'm recording it and it's on standby. I'm not very good at this. Someone did that. Someone up there. Hi, honey. Here we are in Tiananmen Square. Wow. Man, I have a hard time seeing here. Color guard. Not sure what they're for, but pretty cool. There it is. Oh my God, we are here. See if we can get a close up of Chairman. There he is. Oh, a monk. Hi, honey. The guards around the national flag. Changing of the guard. Wow. Wow. That is amazing. Just walks back. Does his strut like he did before. Here comes another one. There's the three. And there they go. Wow. Yeah, your old national flag, my love. Well, this is it. We're saying goodbye. Entrance to the Forbidden City.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Robin.
This is Aaron from the back side.
This is Eric from the side.
We saw one bridge. Did you see the bridge? And there were 5 here, right in front of the rostrum. Actually, there's one further east. Altogether, there are 7 bridges outside, on this side of the Forbidden City. And there's a city. All those bridges go over the city moat. There's a city moat goes around the city to protect the city. So yesterday we saw the city moat.
Yes.
Layers to city moat. And this is to protect the city. The bridge we saw and the one further east, these 2 bridges, we call them public bridges. Even though we call them public bridges, actually they said that no one in the public was allowed to go in. So actually those bridges served for no public. They served for the lower ranking official servants. These 5 bridges in front of the rostrum, the one in the middle, which is the biggest, widest one, served for the emperors and empresses only. The 2 neighboring the middle one serves for the royal family members. The other 2 for the outside served for the high-ranking officials. The high-ranking officials ranking 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And the other officials will go to the side. And this column, the one double column, we can see 2 of them, one pair, 2 of them. We call them 华表 in Chinese. H-U-A-B-I-A-O. 华表. We cannot find the exactly English word to describe this. Somebody says it's totem.
It looks like a totem pole.
But well, it looks like totem pole, but it's not. They put a pound or column outside the courthouse. It has a history over 4,000 years. Not these 2, but the history for putting these things outside the courthouse. At the beginning, they used this thing to tell them the direction.
你们要跟住的话呢，我就跟多讲一点；要真的跟不住呢，我就给他们呢就帮我讲讲啊。
The doors are facing the south. All the doors on the south. We have not been thinking. In the northern China, if the doors and windows open the southwards, they get more sunshine, warmer. And also, according to the Taoism religion, Taoism, they said that yin and yang, right? Yin yang, and south is yang, north yin. They always want to face in the yang. The yang is better than yin. So they, in the beginning, the usage to tell them the direction from the sunshine, so that they can build the courtyards facing the south. And about 2,000 years ago, they have those columns have different usage. One is like compass. One is like compass, telling the direction, and they also put a mailbox, a message box on the top. And especially, only the rich people and governors, they can build these big hotels. then the people in the public can put the message and send the mails to them and tell them comments to the governors what they thought about the government.
First email, guys.
Pre-internet.
Okay, and later, about 1,600 years ago, these things just turned to be ornament purpose, just decoration. Because we did our compass and the mailboxes they put against the door, besides the doors.
No.
So this is just for decoration.
Joy's getting a lot of extra attention, not just
crowd.
from us.
Yeah. They're all looking at you, Joy.
Luckily, they didn't squeeze into.
True.
They did it before. They did a few times. Squeeze in and my group's outside and they inside.
Joy.
They like to hear you speaking. They're just curious. Yeah. Stop.
Everybody bring out. Hi,
We just got our picture taken by some
This to
Chinese
show you
people.
the dignity of the emperor and telling you that
Stuck my head in behind you.
On the top, there's an animal looks alike to dragon. But it's not dragon himself. It's one of the dragon's sons. Dragon has 9 sons, 9 different looking sons. This one looks quite alike to dragon. The other ones looks like turtles and lions or some makeup animals. This one is, according to the culture, he's good at door keeping, like warn away the evil spirits. Yeah, what are they called that?
It'll be filmed now.
Yesterday, somebody asked me about the stone lions. Who asked me the stone lions? So we see stone lions outside. Always, when you talk to a big communist building, or you go to like temples or like rich people's, religion quarters, and you come to the royal garden, you see stone lions. They believe stone lions are good doorkeepers, also warn away the evil spirits. And stone lions also warn away the evil spirits and welcome the good, getting the good life. And stone lions always coming as pairs. You always see 2 right outside.
Okay.
Pairs, male and female. Usually in this position, the one on the left supposed to be the male, because the left is yang, right is yin, and female is yin, male is yang.
So female's bad and male's good?
Female one's always on the right, so female always right.
I like that.
How true.
So the male one on the left, female one on the right. In this position, these ones, female ones. And another way to tell them which one is male, which one is female. A male one have a bone under the bone to show his global power. The female ones, later you see, the female ones have a baby cub to show her maternal power. Now we can go closer to have a look and take some pictures.
I'm going into the Forbidden City. This is so exciting. There's Daddy. The size of these doors. Going through a little tunnel, sort of, through the building. Just got bombed. Very antique looking building.
Okay. You see another pair of the Huabiao. You see any difference? Do you see? Do you see any? And the dragon? Yes. Yeah, the tail. The animal with the The roof, this color we call it golden age or yellow. In ancient times, they definitely just for emperors. So when you come to a certain courtyards, when you see this color, you know you come to a royal, imperial city or imperial, garden. This in ancient times, yellow the color only for emperors. No one was allowed to dress up in yellow in this color.
Wow.
Nobody. If anyone in the public dare to dress up in yellow in this color, they're going to be punished, and even today, very strict in ancient times. And on the ribs, if you count 9 animals, number 9. When you count number 9, you come to the royal. Just now when we walk past the door, when you see those golden knots. Anybody count? Did anybody count? 9 and 9. 9 and 9. You will see more. When you count number 9, you know you come to royal. Yeah. The number 9, this is 9 and 9, 81. And even the number 9 and 95, 97, 99 all belongs to royal. You cannot see any number 9 in the public or in the royal, the high-ranking officials' house. When we visit the photo area, we count 4, you count 2 or 5, 3, and you never count 9. Any number about 95, royal. And those animals on the reef, so in ancient times, most of the structures of the ancient buildings, wooden structure, easier to get fire from the lightning. So they put up those things for, just like lightning rods. And later, they put the lightning rods for, the road strip. And right now, they just for decoration. This road strip, we call it Meridian Gate. In ancient times, the culture says Meridian also means South Street.
Here's Daddy. We are going through another layer of the Forbidden City. It's called the Meridian Gate.
Battles. And outside of here, the open place, it was a place for the emperor if they wanted to punish a certain high-ranking official. It happens here with the long sticks. Wow.
Ooh.
People, the high-ranking officials could be dead after that. Right in the square? Yeah, on here. And you can see 3 different sizes of the gates.
Yes.
Actually, very strict. The one in the middle serves the emperor to empress. And the one on the west serves for the royal family members. The one on the right, on the east, serves for high-ranking officials. Now, what about those lower ranking and servants? You see, there are 2 side doors, smaller side doors. Servants and lower ranking officials go through those smaller doors. And those doors, they're hiding,
Yeah.
They're not important. They're not important. And sitting here, on this side, you see 2 gates to the other part. Actually, the part of the city. The parts here is for them to sacrifice for gods. They sacrificing place for the gods. And the one here they use these to sacrifice for the ancestors, the royal family ancestors. Now we go into this, go through these gates, and we go into the real Forbidden City.
Got that?
我去买票，你们在这边等我。
It's way in. Forbidden City.
We were in the Forbidden City. Now we're in trouble because we're forbidden.
Ah! This has got to be one of the most spectacular things. Hey, Daddy. I think that's the main palace.
Please go through the right gates. Overnight, they elect whoever understands capable people here and use fabric to paint to make a fake gate. Those should look alike to this overnight. And the next day, the entrance is to go through the gate in the middle. But they rebuilt the rostrum 1 year after. Now we see another 5 bridges. The 5 bridges, they have same usage as those outside. And they cover the innermost. We call innermost. Innermost serve as drainage. They didn't need water pipes and no running water. They transfer the drinking water from outside of the city here, and then this is for drainage. And this is also the water resource in case of fire, the only water resource in case of fire. And I also have everywhere of the palace, they have huge water pots, water bags to store water in case of fire. Later we'll see them. Altogether 308. Huge one.
We are going across the center bridge, which used to be just for royalty. Oh, today we're royal.
Back in the tent.
There's Daddy. Hi, Daddy. Here is the moat, the center moat, which they had for fires. And they had extra basins like Joy said for fires. The moat. There's Terry. There's the female. You see the pup under the paw. And there is the male. His ball. Show his power.
It's the entrance to go into the official's place. In Forbidden City, we altogether have three parts. One is we call it outer courts, inner courts, and royal garden. This is the outer courts, the official's place. Inner courts, residential area, and the royal garden. We call this place as Supreme Harmony, and they name those important palaces as Supreme Harmony, Middle Harmony, and Reserve Harmony. Do you remember they named those gates outside as peace?
Yes.
Heavenly peace, eastern peace, earthly peace. They wish they can have a peace society outside and peace border. And they wish they can have harmony inside the Forbidden City. The harmony between the emperors and empresses, harmony between the emperors and high-ranking officials, and harmony among the royal family members. Especially the royal family members, the harmony is very important because they always fight against for the throne to get the power. There was one emperor in the early middle last dynasty. He killed all his 7 brothers for his throne. All his brothers. He was supposed to be punished by his killing, but he was the only one who left. So nobody could take the throne, and he was the person who they must make him for the as the new emperor. So the harmony among the royal family members is very important. They try to stress on harmony inside Forbidden City. Now let's go into the area.
Oh, to see him. First, oh my gosh. This is the officials area. Oh. Hi, honey.
Wow.
This is the officials area. This is the next level in. Look at the beautiful architecture.
If you surround it, outside, like the layers of city wall, this is including outside the layers. This is what we are. Yes.
How are they doing?
I certainly hope they're doing good, but I don't know.
You come to the royal area. It's the highest rank.
I think this is the one.
7 ranks for
the biggest building.
Construction.
Yeah.
On this
I don't remember the build up like that.
in ancient times, every morning, the emperor is supposed to in the office in the hall, and audience waiting. The hundreds of officials, high-ranking officials, kneeling here or standing here before the sun rises every morning, and the officials waiting here, waiting for their turn to report to the emperor. And this area also the place for the very important events like ceremony, wedding ceremony for the emperors and empresses, the Chinese New Year ceremony, the birthday of the emperors, all the important and enthronement ceremony happens here on this square. And you can see they build the building on the terraces. The terraces to make the buildings look significant, because in ancient times all the constructions only one floor, one level. Even though you see the double eave, but just one level. To make it look big, significant, they put them on the terraces. Now we
See the terraces?
climb some stairs to see what's in there.
How cute.
Cabinet hall, the office, not residential yet. Office, and the emperor is supposed to sit on the pressure throne, waiting for the officials coming to report. And they put those bronze wares, those are incense burners. They might burn some incense with like mystery, with the smell. They call it smells good. And the round thing, it's a sundial, the marble round. They read the time from the sundial.
Sundial.
Statue, actually both sides. Statues, crane and turtles. Cranes and turtles, they are the symbol of longevity. But why they put the longevity statues outside? They wish they can in charge of the country forever. They can have the power forever. So they put the longevity statues, symbols outside of the important office. Inside the building, there's a precious throne right in the middle. All the precious thrones in the Forbidden City is supposed to sit in the middle on the meridian line, right in the middle, to show the dignity of the emperor. And on both sides of the precious throne, there are some prosonate things, like they have prosonate elephants and prosonate lu duan, which is a makeup animal. Why they put elephants? The elephants they thought they didn't see any whales, so they thought elephants were the biggest animal in the world, and which is heavy and steady. They wish they could have a steady country. So they have statues or prosonate statues of elephants here. And they put the makeup animal, they call it lu duan. This animal is makeup animal. They thought he can travel thousands of miles a day. And who can speak all the languages in the world, which means the emperor in charge of the whole world, and this is the center of the whole world. You might go closer to have a look what's in there, and we meet guys. I don't know why they close the doors. I guess somebody important coming to be. I don't know. Later I asked where we should go. They close the doors. Usually we go. You go have a look. Me too. This way. Turn the corner by the tortoise. Okay?
By turtles. Okay. Doors are closed. I'm not sure why. Look at that. Thank you. Wish the sun was out. Oop, there's that turtle again. Doors are closed for some reason today. Pretty cool. There's a pig on the way here.
The Supreme Harmony. And this one they name it as Middle Harmony. And the one behind we call it Reserve Harmony. You can count the animal on the top. You count 7 only.
Huh?
So it's less than
Tape ended.